There is something you need to know. It's not easy to say this, but I feel that you need to hear it. For a long time, a truth has been hidden from you, not out of malice, but because perhaps the person didn't know how you would react, or maybe because they themselves didn't know how to deal with it. But now the time has come, you feel it, don't you? That something is out of place, that there are questions that have never been answered. And no matter how hard you try to move forward, this feeling that there is something more keeps following you. It's not your imagination. There is a reason for this. What I am about to say may not be what you expect, but it is something you deserve to know. It's something that might change the way you see certain people, certain situations, maybe even how you see yourself. But I need to know, are you ready to face this? Are you ready to hear what has never been told to you? Have you noticed that sometimes the answers you seek so desperately are not as far away as they seem? They are closer than you imagine, waiting for the right moment to appear. That moment has arrived. It can no longer be avoided. It can no longer be pretended that nothing is happening. The truth is here, and you need to face it. The person who holds this truth didn't have the courage to speak before, perhaps out of fear of hurting you or losing the little that was still left between you. But now everything has changed. This truth can no longer be contained. It has grown, matured, and is ready to be shared. Because deep down, this person believes that you are strong enough to handle it, even if it seems hard, even if it hurts. I know you might be feeling a mix of curiosity and apprehension right now. You might be thinking about what was hidden, what could be so important that it was kept secret for so long. It might be something you already suspected, or perhaps something completely unexpected. And yes, it's normal to feel that weight on your chest. After all, when something buried starts to emerge, our mind tries to prepare us for the impact. But let me tell you something. You are stronger than you think. You've already been through so many things, faced situations that seemed impossible to overcome, and yet you are here, standing. Why would this be any different? This truth, no matter how difficult it is, has the potential to set you free. Free from doubts, from resentments, from burdens you didn't even know you were carrying. And maybe you're thinking, why now? Why not before? I understand that question, and the answer is simple. Because now is the right moment. Perhaps before you weren't ready to hear it. Maybe the person wasn't ready to speak. But now the pieces have fallen into place, and it's time for everything to be brought to light. What happens after this depends on you, on the choices you make. But one thing is certain. You will no longer be trapped by doubt. As you listen to this, I want you to pay attention to how you are feeling. There is something inside you that already knows the answer, that already senses what is coming. It could be a relief or a pang, but whatever it is, it's valid. It's your body, your heart trying to prepare you. Listen to that, pay attention to that. Now I need you to ask yourself, are you truly ready to hear this? Because hearing the truth requires courage. It's not just about accepting what was said, but about allowing it to transform you, to show you something new. Can you do that? Can you face what's coming without running away, without shutting down? If your answer is yes, if you feel ready to receive what is about to be said, then allow yourself. Take a deep breath, open your mind and your heart. Because what is coming is much bigger than a simple confession. It's a turning point. An opportunity to rebuild something that seemed lost, or at least to better understand what really happened. If you have decided that you are ready to listen, then I need to be honest with you. What you're going to discover is not simple. It's not something that is accepted immediately, and it may deeply affect everything you believe about yourself, about this person, or about your relationship. But I need you to understand one thing. This is not about punishment. Not about guilt, and definitely not about reopening old wounds that should have already healed. It's about clarity, about freeing you from everything that has been in the shadows for too long. The person who is trying to tell you this had countless opportunities to speak before, but always hesitated. Do you know why? Because it is not easy to face someone and admit that you have not been honest. It is not easy to carry the weight of knowing that the other person is living a distorted version of the truth. And even though you have your pain and reasons, this person had theirs too. This does not justify the silence, but perhaps it helps you see that things are not always as black and white as they seem. Have you ever wondered what you would do if you were on the other side? If you were the one who had kept something so important out of fear or insecurity? It's not an excuse, but it's an attempt to understand that sometimes people act according to what they believe is best, even if that ends up causing more harm than they can imagine. Now, I know you might be wondering, but what exactly was hidden, and why? I'm not going to sugarcoat this for you. It's something that has the power to change how you feel. It could be a truth about the reasons for a separation, something that happened when you fully trusted, or even a revelation that will make you question what was real. But the point is not what happened. The point is how this is going to impact you now at this moment, and I need to prepare you for something. The truth often does not bring the comfort we expect. It hurts. It hurts because it dismantles stories we created in our heads, because it requires us to look at ourselves differently. It hurts because sometimes it's easier to live with a comfortable lie than with a disconcerting truth. But you're not the kind of person who chooses the easy path, are you? You have strength. You have an enormous capacity to rebuild yourself, to reconstruct yourself, even in the most challenging moments. And this truth, as much as it may seem like a burden now, can be exactly what you need to free yourself. Because what was hidden from you deep down never stopped affecting you. It was there like a shadow, influencing your decisions, your emotions, even without you realizing it. And now that it's coming to light, it's your chance to finally let go of it. I want you to pause now. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes if necessary. Feel the weight of this expectation, but don't let it consume you. This is just a transition. A difficult moment, yes, but one that will lead you to something greater, more truthful. And I know you can face this, not because you are perfect or because you have all the answers, but because you are human. And being human is this: facing pain, discomfort, and coming out the other side stronger. The question now is not whether you will hear the truth. The question is what you will do with it. Will you let it break you, or will you use it as fuel to become even more aware, more free? That is your choice, and only you can make it. Are you still there, reflecting on all of this? I know it's hard. I know these words may weigh more than you expected, but I want you to understand something. What you are feeling right now, this mix of anguish, curiosity, and even fear, is a sign that you are alive, that you are in the middle of an important moment. What will be revealed to you is not just a truth about what happened or about who was by your side. It's an opportunity, a chance to see what you may have ignored or even avoided for a long time. But let me ask you a question. Have you ever thought about what it means to carry something like this? Not only for the one who hid it, but for those who, even without knowing, lived with it around them. For a long time, you were guided by a version of the story that perhaps was not complete. You made decisions, trusted or doubted people, based feelings and memories on something that was never as solid as it seemed. This impacted you more than you imagine, and now that the truth is knocking at your door, it's impossible to ignore. There is no way to go back. There is no way to unsee what is about to be placed in front of you. But you know what's interesting? Despite all this, despite all the intensity that this moment carries, there is something you can control: your response. You cannot change what happened. You cannot undo time, erase mistakes, or recover what was lost. But you can decide what you will do from now on, and that is more powerful than any truth that can be revealed. Now let me be even more direct with you. What is coming may change your perceptions. It may make you question the intentions of those you trusted, or even the way you saw yourself. This is not easy. I know deep down you might be thinking you'd rather not know, that living in ignorance would be less painful. But let me tell you something you might not have realized yet. The weight of doubt is always greater than the weight of the truth. Doubt slowly corrodes. It turns happy moments into uncertainties, beautiful memories into suspicions. It makes you relive the past, looking for signs you may never find. And even if the truth hurts, it gives you something doubt never will: an end point, or at least a new beginning. You have the right to know. You have the right to hear this confession, to understand what happened, and to decide from that point what to do with this new reality. But you also have the right to protect yourself, not to let this truth define you or trap you in the past, because as important as it is not greater than who you are today. I need you to know that regardless of what happens from here on out, you are not alone. What you feel is valid, and what you decide to do with it is what matters. You can forgive, you can confront, you can simply move on. The path is yours. The choices are yours. Now is the moment of decision. And although it seems like a simple choice, to move forward or leave this behind, I know that this decision is anything but easy. You feel like you're carrying a weight right now, don't you? The idea of dealing with such an impactful truth is overwhelming, and I understand that. You are not alone in this feeling. Many of us have faced moments like this where everything seems to be hanging by a thread, and doubt mixes with the need to know. But let me tell you something important. This moment is not about the weight of what happened. It's not about the mistake, the lie, or the pain of the past. It's about you. It's about what you're going to do with it now. Because as much as the truth has the power to change things, the real power lies within you. It's in your ability to choose what this truth will mean. You don't need to be perfect to deal with it. You don't need to have all the answers or know exactly what to do. All you need is to take a step, just one step towards clarity, honesty, your own emotional freedom. Because the truth, even when it hurts, is always better than living tied to the what if or the why was I never told. The truth cuts, but it also heals. And now I want you to reflect on something very important. What does it mean to be ready? Many people spend their lives waiting for the moment when they're ready for something, a new challenge, a difficult conversation, a drastic change. But the truth is that no one is ever completely ready. We just decide to act, even when fear screams inside us. And that is exactly what defines someone's strength. Not the absence of fear, but the ability to move forward despite it. You are at that point now. It might be uncomfortable, it might be confusing, but this is where change begins. This is where you decide, once and for all, whether you will continue living in the shadow of what could have been, or if you will take control and choose a new path. The choice is in your hands. And speaking of choices, I need to remind you of something fundamental. The way you react to this truth is not about proving something to others. It's not about what they will think or how they will judge your actions. It's about you. About how you will look at yourself in the mirror, knowing that you did what was necessary, even when it was difficult. Because in the end, the only person you owe any explanations to is yourself. I know it may seem unfair, like you're being forced to deal with something you didn't even choose to carry. But that's life, isn't it? It puts us in front of challenges we didn't ask for, truths we didn't want to hear, and gives us the chance to grow through them. You have that chance now, don't waste it. And I want you to know, no matter how you choose to deal with this, you are doing your best. Even if it hurts, even if it feels confusing, you are moving towards clarity, and that is something that few people have the courage to do. So, allow yourself to feel whatever is necessary. Cry if you need to. Be silent if that's the case, but don't run away, don't hide from the truth. Because in the end, the only way to find peace is by facing what is in front of you. Now I want to ask you something. Share your thoughts. Don't keep this just to yourself. Write in the comments what this message made you feel. What's going through your mind right now? Is there something you need to face in your life, something that is asking to be resolved? Share it with me, because this space is for that, to share, to listen, and to be heard. And you know what else? I want you to remember that this journey doesn't have to be solitary. By commenting, you are not only lifting a weight off your chest, but also inspiring other people who are facing their own battles. Sometimes a single word from someone can be what another person needs to take the first step. Be that voice for someone today. And if you have made it this far, I want to congratulate you. You dedicated this time to look within yourself, to reflect on something that many people prefer to ignore. This is no small feat, this is courage, this is growth. And I want to invite you to continue on this journey with me. Subscribe to the channel so that we can, together, explore more truths, more reflections, more paths of transformation. Like this video, because this message can touch other people just as it touched you. And before closing, I want to leave one last reflection. The truth never destroys, it transforms. Even when everything seems to be falling apart, what is actually happening is a reconstruction. An opportunity to create something new, stronger, more real. You are in this process right now. It is not the end. It is the beginning of something much greater. I am here with you, Thank you for allowing me to share this with you today. You are amazing. Keep going. Don't stop. I'll see you in the next video.